Greetings all, this is Hairy Nick.
And this is a less hairy Justin.
And welcome back to the Hangar Bay, a weekly show where we talk about your submitted X-Wing lists. Sorry about the delay, we went to Sydney.
We did, and we had a good time. A great time, in fact.
Yes, it was excellent. Unfortunately, it pushed our schedule back a little bit, so we missed out on a week of Hangar Bay. Fear not, we are back. We're back into the main rotation of all the factions now, starting off again with the Scum faction.
Yes.
With the M3-A Interceptor.
Yeah, no, this is a pretty cool little ship.
It is. It not doing great in terms of meta play right now.
Yeah, there's one pilot that's doing fairly well.
Sort of. This
sees
list,
a little bit of play, at least. Anyway.
Well, at least in this list that we saw at the System Open. This one by Cam right here. And by the way, Cam, I saw that you actually submitted this for us to review. We've actually already spoken about it in the last video I did talking about the top 16 in the Sydney SOS. So click the link up here. Or is it there? I always forget. Click that link to have a look at that video. We're not going to talk about that in this one, though. Let's just go through the stats of the Skick Fighter. Or is it Sick Fighter? I can never remember. Let's just alternate. Let's just alternate so it annoys everyone at home as much as possible. We have a stat line of 2 red dice at the front, 3 agility, 3 hull, and 1 shield.
Yeah, the actions are focus, evade, target lock, and barrel roll.
And its upgrade slots is 1 modification, and it can be one of either a cannon, torpedo, or missile. Only one of, no combinations or anything like that.
Yeah, which gives it a fair amount of flexibility.
Pretty much. Weapon hardpoint is something that is not great, but is sort of getting better with new cards as they're coming out. Mainly Auto Blaster. That's the one that sort of people are looking at right now. And experimenting with this on like this platform, even like the T-70 X-Wing and the Upsilon, because Auto Blaster's only 2 points. Why wouldn't you? And all of these things like cannons, but there hasn't been like a really just sort of busted cannon in 2nd edition yet. Not like heavy laser cannon from 1st edition. We have heavy laser cannon. It's fair now, though.
I was going to say fingers crossed, but no, I don't want that.
No, we don't want that. We don't have anything like the Mangler cannon from 1st edition. And these were really key things that made the Sick Fighter work well. You needed just a decent cannon to strap onto it. Missiles and torpedoes never really worked on this in terms of meta play because they're only like one-offs. I guess now they're like 2-offs because of charges.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of swinginess with missiles and torpedoes.
I was going to say, though, there is one pilot that we're going to be talking about later, and that could have extra...
Yes, that's true. There's this pilot from, well, I'll say it right now, Quinn Just. In 1st edition, Quinn was able to recharge missiles and torpedoes. Now it actually has more utility, which, again, we'll talk about in a second. But we have some interesting cards sort of entering into the game, especially with Auto Blaster. Comboing that with marksmanship. Also, we had a lot of submissions with sort of en masse cartel spacer list alongside Drea Renthal and the Y-Wing. That is legitimately a cool way of using Drea Renthal.
Nice.
The points change was a bit rough on her. We can no longer do like Drea locks with the Skirgs and all that kind of stuff. We're not going to talk about that in this video because we have some glorious jank that's been submitted. I just want to first of all thank everyone that submitted in that last minute poll I did last week because we were really struggling to get lists for this ship since the points change. I will say a quick thank you. One person actually had already submitted one, which we'll take a look at right now. And I just didn't get a chance to see that comment before I made that community poll. So thank you so much to all that. And yeah, when I made that community post and asked people to post sick lists. Whew.
I think there was 20 or something lists you said?
Something like that. Yeah, you all came through great. So thank you so much for that. If you would like to submit a list for us to have a look at in one of these Hangar Bay episodes, simply copy all of the text, including all pilots and upgrades, into a comment down below in one of our YouTube videos. Please also be sure to include a link to that squad within your favourite squad builder. Now, if you're unsure how to do this, simply head over to Yet Another Squad Builder 2.0. They have a fantastic squad builder built into this website. You have drop-down menus that can help you find all the upgrades and everything that's legal for the ships that you want to build with, as well as a simple text viewer that you can use to copy out all the text. And if you're part of the Patreon Discord, put all of this into the relevant list submission channel on that. Every week here, we are sure to include one patron list, so if you're part of the patron Discord, it means you have a much higher chance of being featured in one of these videos. Let's start off with a list submitted on our patron Discord. This is Unrelenting by D.R. Weston.
Yes, so here we have an Aggressor, a Fire Spray, and an M3-A.
Just say the pilots.
Yep. Yeah. And
in this list we have IG-88B, Cressus Trellix, and Leantin Ashra.
Yes, now IG-88B has Fearless, Jamming Beam, Tractor Beam, and the IG-2000 title.
Cressus Trellix in the Fire Spray has Fearless, Ion Cannon, and IG-88D.
And Leantin Ashra has Duke Stealth Device and Auto Blasters.
Okay, so the M3-A here, Leantin with Duke Stealth Device Auto Blasters. It just seems really, really cool. Basically, whenever it attacks or defends, if the attack missed, you get an evade token.
Ooh,
it's very strong with Duke. That's pretty much a no-brainer for me. I don't know about Stealth Device for 8 points, but at the same time, it's doubling down on that pilot ability.
Yeah, it means that you're going to always have at least one dice extra to
That's
change.
Right. And then it's more likely to miss and then trigger the ability, get an evade token, and shoot back. Only initiative 3, so there's a good chance that Leantin will defend before they attack. It makes perfect sense. I just don't think there's really much to talk about there. I think it's just a nice, tight little pilot for 50 points. And it's good. And what we have here is a list with 2 other ships that are like comboing off together. We have a nice little 50-point ship over here just doing its own thing. I don't know if this is the best thing you could be doing with 50 points on the Scum faction, but it seems decent. For sure.
Yeah, I suppose you've got Duke and Stealth Device there, which are 15 points, which is a lot of points to sink into.
It is a lot.
Does combo well with the pilot,
yeah,
so...
For sure. I mean, do you want to look at something like Ceresu alongside this for 40 points and just run Duke on Auto Blasters and have no synergy with the pilot? Ceresu is interesting because it can give Cressus Trellix and IG-88B rerolls on defense.
Yeah, but then you're flying it differently as well.
It's also not initiative matched. And, yeah. I think that's the key thing, is 50 points the best thing you can be doing as filler. That's ultimately what it is here. That's not a bad thing by any stretch of the imagination. Let's just quickly talk about IG-88B and Cressus Trellix, something that I have wanted to make work myself. Basically, Cressus Trellix can fire backwards with special weapons. So something like Ion Cannon is great. IG-88B... whenever Cressus Trellix misses, it can fire again with a special weapon, or rather a cannon.
So you fire with your first attack, and then you fire, if you miss, you then fire with your iron cannon.
That's right, yeah. Like you do a primary, then a secondary. It's got a miss, but at the same time, it's insurance, making sure that you get an attack that hits. I mean, you might miss the second attack, sure, but there's a very high chance that you'll work through your opponent's tokens.
Yeah.
There's a lot of value to be had. Alongside IG-88B, who's obviously doing the same thing, can fire a jamming beam or a tractor beam if IG-88B misses. That's all right.
And at least with Iron Cannon, that's also dealing A damage as well.
Yeah.
If it does hit.
For sure. Like, Tractor Beam is still decent. Also, IG-88B is initiative 4, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, so it will be the first to attack, and if you tractor something, or even jam something, it gives your other ships a better chance of hitting it.
That seems handy.
It seems very handy indeed. Also, IG-88D as a crew slot is now 3 points. It doesn't need to go alongside another IG-88. Just having the double calculate is worth 3 points alone.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's decent. I mean, these ships are relatively low initiative, so you're not, flying after your opponent's aces or something like that. But it's nice. It's nice. They're just going to position themselves, block when they have to, and brawl.
Yeah, and when you hit, you're going to hit like a truck.
That's it. I think Cressus Trellix, in my opinion, is one of the more underrated pilots in the Scum faction, and I certainly want to do more with him. But that would mean I'm not flying Boba Fett, so... yeah, that's a pretty hard sell for me most of the time. Also, this list is submitted by Tommy Corpusauco on our comments. I hope I pronounced your last name right. With Quinjast, Forlom, and Cressus Trellix again.
Yeah, now Quinjast has marksmanship, afterburners, and auto blasters.
Yep, Forlom has elusive, advanced sensors, Kira, hull upgrade, and Mist Hunter.
And Cressus Trellix has outmaneuver, ion cannon, IG-88D, and rigged cargo chute. So, just as you said.
Yeah, IG88D without another IG, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's absolutely worth 3 points. I will say that these do feel a bit, possibly a bit too stacked. But at the same time, you're ultimately getting 3 similar-ish platforms. Forlom is so different from an IG, though. Like, I want to say, oh, yeah, you definitely want an IG, you definitely want Forlom. So this is actually what we saw in Cam's list in the System Open. Advanced Sensors and Kira on Forlom. Oh, it's so delightful. Ooh. It's so delightful. You can just fly this anywhere you want, do full stops, advanced sensors, double calculate. Oh, Forlom is just... Oh, I love this pilot so much. I love what they did to it in 2nd edition. But let's talk about the other ships in this list, because this time we don't have any combos across 2 ships or anything like that. We just have 3 ships just doing their thing, really.
Yeah.
There's no double tapping with Cressus Trellix that time. That's okay. There's nothing here that makes me go, oh, we definitely want to try and get more power out of this. I will say Cressus Trellix is 86 points, which is a Boba Fett build cost. Can't get around that. However, that Boba Fett build cost would involve Kira if it was me. So,
yeah.
Kira Trickshot is my go-to sort of combo there.
But is Kira Trickshot better than Outmaneuver and IG88D?
Basically, if you went over to Boba, you wouldn't have Iron Cannon or Rid Cargo Chute. You just can't afford it, and you have to go for a cheaper talent. So that's something you can consider. I'm not saying it's necessarily right or wrong. This way, we have initiative match across the board. Yes, we do. All initiative 3. And that is something that absolutely has value. There is something to be said, though, right now with X-Wing, that just focusing on good pilots and good platforms is solid. At the SOS, the other cards on Boba Fett came up so rarely for me. Trickshot never fired once, and Kira, I think, was relevant in 2 games. And that entire time I was thinking, I should just run Boba Fett as is. It's crazy to think that we've got that stage in X-Wing. But
I didn't realise that.
You've really got to add up the value of the pilot abilities and something like that. Yeah, Crest Strikes can fire backwards with a cannon. However, re-rolling dice when your enemy's at range 1 is so powerful. Initiative 5, blah, blah, blah. You know the whole thing with Boba Fett. It's a great, great card. You guys should try it.
Now, Quinn Just, it means that you can keep afterburners up the entire time?
Yeah, absolutely. It's
pretty good.
You do have to get disarm tokens still. From memory, one disarm token. Yeah, that hasn't changed. In 1st edition, Quinn Jast was basically reload. That's what it was. You get to do a reload for free before reload even existed in the game. And now you can do it on any upgrade, so even things like elusive, any torpedo or missiles, afterburners, these are all options you have with Quinn Just. Yeah. Afterburners is a bit left field. It's not something I would have considered, actually. I like it. I like that you can fly aggressively with auto blasters.
I was just going to say, do you consider changing marksmanship to elusive and just go straight 200? But then marksmanship and auto blasters together feel so good.
If you did some trimming elsewhere, it could be Duke. I don't hate that, although that's a bit awkward with taking disarm tokens.
Yeah.
It's still interesting because your action economy is pretty awesome on Quinn Just. You're not spending anything to do all of that.
No.
You can still barrel roll or evade the same turn that you activate that pilot ability, so it seems decent. Also, this build is only 43 points, and I think that is something to pay attention to.
Yeah, it feels pretty good.
Yeah. It's not bad, eh? It's not bad for that sort of cost. You really want to fly it aggressively and get value out of it, but nothing's too overbloated here. Just auto blasters being 2 points just really gives us good opportunities like this, and I don't think this is like top tier or anything. Like, honestly, let's be frank, Sarah Sue is the top tier pilot on the M3-A. I think she will be for most of the game, if indeed the M3-A ever sees top tier play. But Quinn Just is kind of fun, like these little internal synergies that just sort of pump out all that value. It's just a case of you've got to take disarm tokens, you've got to really work for it, and that you lose versatility when you're taking disarm tokens that frequently.
You do.
Cool idea nonetheless. Yeah. I dig it. I like this sort of archetype that we saw in the last couple of lists. Okay, let's move on to some 4-of builds. This one was Sunny Bounder and Sarazu in the M3As, and Cavill and Talonbane Cobra as well.
And this is done by Mike Might Motorbike.
Indeed.
Sunny Bounder with nothing on it.
Sarazu with Duke and Auto Blasters.
Cavill with expert handling, dorsal turret, veteran turret gunner, R4 astromech, And Afterburners.
And Talonbane with elusive and contraband cybernetics.
Yeah, now you flew Cavil...
I did indeed.
While in Sydney. Not so many points on it. What do you reckon?
So I ran this exact build without Veteran Turret Gunner or Afterburners. I don't like Afterburners on Cavil. It doesn't really interest me at all. Like, it's not any better than it would be on most platforms. I'll put it that way. So for the 6 points, it's costly. I mean, the boost is handy, I suppose. It gets you a better shot. It might get you more range 1 shots.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like it's really that necessary on Cavil. I mean, double repositioning on a Y-Wing, it's not the same as it is on an Ace, to be honest.
No.
It's not bad. Like, it's a great card. Even for 6 points, it's not bad value. I just don't think it's doing anything busted here, and usually Afterburners does something busted for it to really justify its cost. Veteran Turret Gunner's gone up to 8 points, and that's really costly. Like, it's brought Cavil all the way up to 64 points.
Yeah, and with that, you could maybe put a missile on Talonbane.
Yeah, for sure. You could think about, like, cluster missiles on Talonbane Cobra. You could put some more stuff on those 6. But I actually don't want to do that, though. I quite like where these 6 are sitting.
Yeah.
Sunnybounder should have nothing on him at all times. Absolutely. No stealth device, nothing. No, just
30 points there.
Just
Bam.
30 points, just do dumb things, roll dice, and pray, basically. You could think about... No, you can't put Lone Wolf on Sunnybounder. He is a noob. So don't worry about that. I like that. And also Sarazu. I like Sarazu and Sunnybounder together because it allows Sunnybounder to do rerolls, and that gives you slightly more chance of activating that ability. You 9 times out of 10 you're not going to. This is not a spike pilot. It never will be. But it's kind of dumb. There were more busted things you could do in first edition, which allowed you to play around with blank results, that kind of thing. Not really a thing anymore. Who cares? He's fun. And Sarasu is just awesome. I think Sarasu, for example, is more powerful alongside these other 2 pilots than like Crassus Trellix, Forlom, or IG-88B. Being all small ships really helps as well, keeps them in formation. And for that reason, I quite like this, flying this as a formation. I think the only thing I'd like to do here is to switch out Veteran Turret Gunner for cluster missiles on Talonbane. I think just bring those points closer to equilibrium. In fact, that would almost be right together. No, Talonbane would be a bit more expensive than Cavil. 64 and 56 points is a much bigger gap. I just feel like there's a bit too much stacked on Cavil. Talonbane feels all right to me. I mean, Talonbane, yeah, whatever. You could think about Fearless instead of Elusive, because Fearless is for the Fearless. Yeah. It's great. Elusive, it has Talon rolls now, so Talon rolls for Talonbane. I know what you're thinking.
It's not nothing.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Elusive is just so underwhelming. I mean, we've all been there. You re-roll the dice. And, oh, thank you. Blank into blank.
Yep.
Let me recharge this. When we go, recharge. And that felt great.
Yeah. Or even worse, you re-roll a focus into a blank.
Oh, yeah. It's just... it's uninspiring. It's frustrating because it's a passive mod that you have to work to get. It doesn't feel good. It's not like Lone Wolf, where you have more agency over it. You're not forcing yourself to do... You do have to change the way you fly. But yeah, it doesn't have the same requirements like something like Predator, which needs to be in the bullseye firing arc. I just feel Elusive is just a very awkward card. I always have. It's not a bad option here, but I just think Fearless is a lot more fun. And hey, it's a list with Sunnybounder, so do fun things. Do fun things. Talonbane and Cavil being initiative matched is not... Oh, so Sarasu as well, having 3 of those 5s. Yeah. This is something cool. It almost feels like a bit of a Jankyard scum list, if you could call it that. Although they're not really doing things together. Oh no, sorry, Sarazu. I lied, see? I'm really good at thinking of things in the last minute. Jankyard scum. Let's make it a thing. Nice work, Mike. Let's move on to our final list here. By Felix Zhonglung. Again, I hope I pronounced that correctly. This time, Paylob, Genesis Red, Captain Siva, and Cad Solus.
Yeah, now Paylob has Debris Gambit, Perceptive Co-Pilot, Engine Upgrade, and Moldy Crow.
Genesis Red has Predator and Ion Cannon.
Captain Siva is running naked.
Yep, that's a good image. And Cad Solus has Elusive. I like Cad Solus with Elusive. Every time he does a red maneuver, he gets 2 focus tokens. So it feels like
cheeky.
You're doubling down on the Elusive value, but it makes the card better. I don't think it makes the card great. I'd still actually like to see Fearless whenever I play with a Fang Fighter. That's just my jam. So this is something that has a Genesis Red combo built into it. And I gotta say, we did get a few of these, and I'm sorry, we had some really cool stuff submitted, especially like with Hawks and Moldy Crows and engine upgrades and IG-88C, so you could pass off all kinds of different tokens at the same time.
So much.
Not in this one. I wanted to make sure I'm trying to make sure that we feature as many different commenters as possible. So apologies if you've already done this before and you submitted something similar to this. We've just got to try and prioritize this as best as possible. This combo is nice.
Genesis Red says, after you acquire a lock, you must remove all your focus and evade tokens. Then gain the same number of focus and evade tokens that the locked ship has.
So, you want another ship on your squad that can get focus and evade tokens. Yes, you can just do this to one of your opponent's ships, but that depends on what your opponent's flying. It's a relatively low initiative, so you're not guaranteed to activate this before one of their aces that can stack up nicely. So here we have Palob Godali, who has Moldy Crow to retain all those focus tokens, and Debris Gambit to get evade tokens. And then Genesis Red can go, I'll have all of those, thanks. Predator for rerolls seems nice. I would have liked to have seen Lone Wolf's a bit awkward because you have to be in range to lock. Yeah. Maybe not. Genesis Red can't retain those tokens. There's no upgrade currently in the game that does that apart from Moldy Crow. Yeah, I want to like this part. I really do. It's tough. Like, a combo that ultimately ends up giving you lots of focus and evade tokens on an okay platform. It's fun. It's fun. I don't know if the payoff's really there. I think ultimately when you have a combo like this, you need a really nice payoff, and all the focus tokens in the world doesn't help you from blanks.
No.
It makes me sad.
Yeah.
Evade tokens help on defense, and Predator helps rerolls those blanks on offense. Sure, it's not terrible. It's a lot of dice modification for something with 2 red dice and 3 green dice. And yeah,
eventually it will go pop.
I will say, though, that Palob is awesome. Like, having that alongside... Like, the collection of platforms is nice. But as we've seen, like, you can do things with, like, Forlom and Old Terok with these kind of platforms. And something like this... Like, you really have to get your combo giving you enough value to justify this kind of list over something like that. If we're talking about meta play. If you're talking about just dumb Friday night stuff, go ahead. It's cool.
Now, also, just quickly, with Genesis Red, it doesn't take those tokens off someone else. You just gain the same things that they've already got.
That's correct. So Palob still has all these tokens.
Yeah. And Cad Solus will still have the 2 focuses if you want to take it off.
That's a very good point. Yes, you do have another option in Cad Solus. Cad Solus being Initiative, please say 4. It is 4. Also Captain Seaver, Initiative 3. Yeah, nice. Okay. So the good thing here is Genesis Red can always be the last ship you fly. Even if you don't have Palob, even if you don't have Cad Solus, you can still get a token as a bonus from Captain Seaver. But then you could have just taken that token in the first place. So, whatever. Seavor is a really cool pilot, doing a lot of work in the meta right now, especially alongside like the Kiraz Torkel Mox build.
Oh, yeah.
It's really annoying. It's just amazing filler for 30 points. If you have 30 points left on a scum build, just consider just putting Seaver in. It's great.
Would Seaver be better than Sunny?
That's a very interesting question. What's a Sunny cost? Significantly less, I hope. No, Sunny Banner costs the same as Captain Seaver. Oh, that makes me feel bad about that other list. It's Sunny. Sunny's fun.
Yeah.
Sunny is fun. I think... I look at those. Like, Seaver can't be the same as Sunny. FFG. That's not right. That's not right at all. I mean, I know the Sick has to be sort of more expensive than the TIE Fighter. That's kind of the way it's balanced out, but... I don't know. That doesn't sit well with me. And like weapon hard points and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I understand. That doesn't feel right though. Captain Seaver being the same as Sunny Banner. Sunny Banner is a meme.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. FFG. It's really, really cool. But look, this kind of stuff is good. I think the 4 of Scum build is something that we're going to see a lot more of. And as a result, I think Serasu in particular is a pilot we should be looking out for. It's just really good. It's the reverse Howl Runner. And Howl Runner's great. We know Howl Runner's... We don't need proof that Howl Runner's great. And that just seems really, really cool. I think the Sick Fighter can do some more stuff. We saw some results from the SOS showing that it's okay. It needs the right list to be around it. That's ultimately it. It needs the right list and the right upgrades. Also, it's worth pointing out we are getting one more pilot on this platform in G4R, GOR.
So, probably something with...
Probably a droid.
Yeah, that's what I...
So, calculate, IGs... It's more of a thing on the Scum faction. I love how there's Scum droid and Separatist droids, and the things work completely different. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Again, if it works as filler, if we can get that alongside, we'd have to be like Guri M3-A and maybe an IG or something like that.
Oh yeah, that could work.
It could. It might not quite work out points wise, but that seems close because 2 IGs and 4 LOM is a thing.
Yeah.
The way that balances out. There are things to come with this platform, is what we're saying. I think the key thing we have to look out for is more upgrades. Auto blasters is a great start. It might need some more efficient torpedoes and missiles. We'll find out. In the meantime, do not forget to like and subscribe. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Reddit. Please consider supporting the Patreon, which right now is just great in terms of helping the channel grow. I can't stress enough how much better the Patreon is than the YouTube ad revenue. It is a little bit appalling when you have a look at the numbers, but that's just the thing. Even $1 a month, it's a huge boost to the channel. Thank you so much to everyone who is already a part of the Patreon. That is awesome. We appreciate it so much, and we'll catch you all in the next video.
Bye.